Hello, listeners, and welcome to this week's recording of Boomerang. Team 3 is here. My name is Jim. Your other readers are
Fedine,
Nan,
Ray. And Andrew's our engineer tonight, and he'll be doing the recording, and Ray will be doing the copying and the distribution. The news this week is taken, with permission of course, from the West Lothian Courier dated Thursday the 6th of August, and we are recording this on the 6th of August. Now, we sometimes take the odd story from the Reader's Digest, but usually Ray will have a poem or two for us, so we'll look forward to that at the end. As usual, this week's recording has been divided into 4 sections, and can I remind you right at the start that when you've listened to the whole recording, please post your wallet back to us from a post box and not from the post office. So, we will start the first section with some general news.
Poynton pleased with fireworks consultation. Livingston MP Gregor Poynton has welcomed the UK government's decision to launch the biggest review of fireworks legislation since the current rules were introduced. The announcement follows sustained campaigning by Mr Poynton since his election. In November 2024, after a rise in firework-related antisocial behaviour in Dedridge, Deans, Aileyburn and Craigshill, Mr Poynton called on West Lothian's Community Safety Partnership to introduce firework control zones and review incidents across the constituency. Last year, he published the results of a constituency-wide survey showing overwhelming support for stronger action. Of the 272 residents who responded, 0.85% supported a complete ban on fireworks, almost half supported limiting fireworks to set times only, 0.29 respondents said fireworks should only be available to licensed operators or organised public displays. Mr Poynton subsequently urged the Community Safety Partnership to reconsider introducing firework control zones in West Lothian, and later in the year wrote to major supermarkets asking them to voluntarily withdraw fireworks from sale ahead of bonfire night, arguing that public safety should come before profit. Mr Poynton said, "Since I was elected, one of the issues residents have raised with me repeatedly is the antisocial misuse of fireworks. I've heard from families whose children have been kept awake, pet owners whose animals have been left terrified, and vulnerable residents who dread the weeks leading up to bonfire night. That's why I've constantly campaigned for stronger action locally, from calling for firework control zones and tighter enforcement to urging supermarkets to stop selling fireworks altogether. I'm pleased that the UK Labour government is now taking forward the biggest review of firework legislation in a generation."
Family's charity walk to honour Mum and Gran. A West Lothian woman has signed up to Alzheimer's Scotland's Edinburgh Memory Walk to raise funds for dementia in memory of her mum. People across West Lothian are being encouraged to book their place for Alzheimer's Scotland's Memory Walk on Sunday, September 6th. Those joining the event in Lorison Castle Gardens on Cramond Road South can walk in memory of loved ones affected by the illness, whilst also raising vital funds to support dementia care, research and improvements in brain health. Among those taking part is Debbie McGee, 48, a contracts manager from Broxburn. She will be walking in memory of her mum, Rosie, who passed away in January, aged 82, 6 years after being diagnosed with vascular dementia. Debbie will be joined by her sister Annie and 15-year-old daughter Jess, and supported on the day by her other sisters Caroline and Jane. Debbie said, "My mum Rosie was quite a woman. She was the heart and soul of our family and was dedicated to looking after us all. Losing mum to dementia was really tough for the whole family, and it inspired me to sign up to do the memory walk. I wanted to do something positive that would help keep mum's memory alive and also raise funds for such a great cause. I'm really looking forward to the day. Our team name is Rosie's Forget-Me-Nots. Those were mum's favourite flowers, which feels extra poignant in light of her diagnosis. Dementia affects every person differently, and it's important for me to raise awareness of that and of the huge impact it has on the wider family. Alzheimer's Scotland do amazing work, and I hope the money we raise can help them support other families like mine who are affected by dementia. The Edinburgh event is the first of a series of memory walks taking place across Scotland in 2026. Walks will also be taking place in Glasgow, Aberdeen, Perth, Irvine, Inverness and Kirkcaldy. Tickets cost just £10 for adults and children can be registered for free. It's quick and easy to set up a sponsorship page which can be shared with family, friends and colleagues. Every penny raised will help people with dementia and their carers, as well as supporting better brain health for everyone in Scotland. Lauren Heap, Alzheimer's Scotland's Day Services Manager for Edinburgh and the Lothians, said, "We are proud to support people living with dementia, their families and carers, right from our centres in Edinburgh. We are delighted to host this memory walk in Edinburgh. It is such a special event, and it will be wonderful to walk alongside our supporters again in the local community. Alzheimer's Scotland relies heavily on fundraised money, now more than ever, and every penny helps us continue to develop and deliver vital dementia support."
Hollywood heads for West Lothian with new jobs boost. Work is officially underway on a new 26,500 square foot, multi-million pound Hollywood Bowl venue at the Centre Livingston, scheduled to open this autumn, and it will create 40 local jobs. The state-of-the-art venue, which will feature 22 lanes of 10-pin bowling, a large arcade with the latest Namco games, as well as pool tables and a bar and diner, is a major milestone for the Centre Livingston, as it not only marks their expansion into the leisure sector, but also ties in with their 50th anniversary this year. Since the owners, LCP UK, which are part of MCOR, one of Europe's leading privately owned commercial property development and management companies, acquired the shopping centre over 2 years ago, their mission has been to create a vibrant destination where visitors can shop, eat and play. The arrival is set to further enhance the offering at the Centre Livingston, which has a diverse mix of over 150 stores and restaurants spanning 1 million square feet, including M&S, Flannels, H&M, Nando's, Wagamama and the country's largest JD Sports store, welcoming over 15.8 million visitors a year. Recent global brands to open include Starbucks, Wingstop, Miniso, Sostrine Green, Flying Tiger and the first Arrowhead store in Scotland. Stephen Burns, CEO of Hollywood Bowl Group, said, "We are pleased to announce that work has begun at our new multi-entertainment centre at the popular retail destination, the Centre Livingston. This marks another important step in our strategic growth as we continue to expand across the UK. We're delighted to be opening another site in Scotland, creating new local jobs while bringing high-quality, affordable entertainment to the community. This investment reflects our continued commitment to growing our estate and delivering great leisure experiences for our customers. Simon Etoff, Director at LCP UK, which is part of MCOR, and is asset manager to the Centre Livingston, added, "Starting construction on this state-of-the-art Hollywood Bowl venue is an incredibly proud moment for us. It represents a major evolution for the Centre Livingston as we dynamically expand into the leisure market in the year we celebrate our 50th anniversary, reinforcing our absolute commitment to creating a thriving destination for all our visitors, both locally and from further afield, to shop, dine out, connect and have fun. The countdown is officially on, and we look forward to welcoming visitors to experience this game-changing entertainment centre this autumn." The transaction was completed by Robin Kennedy, who is the Associate Legal Director, UK, at LCP UK, which is part of MCOR.
Capaldi is hailed for Carers Gig. Lewis Capaldi has been praised by fans after hosting a free concert exclusively for hundreds of unpaid carers, with clips from the emotional evening going viral on social media. The West Lothian singer hosted the special concert at London's O2 Forum, Kentish Town, on Tuesday, July the 28th. The gig was held as a thank you to the hundreds of thousands of unpaid carers who dedicate their time to looking after family members, friends and loved ones. The exclusive event was organised in partnership with Carers Trust and Able2 UK, giving carers the chance to enjoy a night of live music, meet others in similar situations, and be recognised for the work they do every day. The concert was linked to the music video for his recent hit song, Stay Love, which shines a spotlight on the realities of unpaid carers. The video follows a young man providing round-the-clock care for his ageing father, showing the reality of family responsibility, companionship, and the everyday challenges many carers face. People travelled from communities across London and the South East to attend the special gig. For many, it was a rare evening away from their caring responsibilities, while others were able to enjoy the event alongside the person they care for. In what organisers described as a first-of-its-kind event, the O2 Forum Kentish Town was made fully accessible, ensuring unpaid carers and those they support could attend comfortably while being given priority throughout the evening. Among those in attendance was Laura, a carer from Kingston, who went to the concert with her daughter Rose. Speaking to the Carers Trust, she said, "I managed to get 2 tickets for me and Rose. It really feels like a once-in-a-lifetime opportunity for us both. Rose is really into music at the moment too. I've just got her a Spotify account, so this will be incredibly special for her. I am such a big fan of how honest and open Lewis is, and I think what he's doing means so much to people." The heartwarming evening has since attracted attention online after a clip of Lewis performing Hold Me While You Wait was posted on TikTok by user at capaldi.course. Captioning the video, the user wrote, "This concert was so special." The post quickly gained attention for many other social media users, with fans and concert-goers flooding the comments to thank the singer for recognising unpaid carers. One person who attended wrote, "Was an amazing night, I was there." Another commented, "I've been a huge fan of him for 6 years.
I first started out with loving his music, but the more I saw of him and his actions, it became apparent that this man has the kindest heart, and that's why I love him. A third praised the accessibility of the event, writing, "This is how easy inclusion and accessibility is when you take the time to think about everyone, not just sales." A fourth user summed up the mood, adding, "He is such a good role model."
Young men and boys being targeted by organised crime. Like our uniformed colleagues, CID officers in West Lothian are working tirelessly every day to proactively target criminals operating within the region, as well as responding to a variety of offences that impact upon our communities. Members of the public within West Lothian have continually engaged with us over persistent issues associated with the antisocial use of e-bikes and scooters, as well as traditional moped, motorbikes and similar vehicles. A range of actions led by our Preventions Officer, PC Robin Hanna, along with community officers, road policing and partners in youth justice social work, have taken place in the past few weeks and will continue throughout the remainder of the summer. There are links between those who are the focal point of this proactivity and ongoing county lines, as well as drug operations. We are aware that young men and boys are being targeted by organised crime groups to distribute drugs and carry out acts of violence. They very often and are very quickly become debt bonded to dangerous individuals who then exploit them. While these individuals are committing criminal offences, they are also victims of exploitation, and work is ongoing with partners to break this cycle and divert them away from criminality. Last week, a very serious robbery took place in Linlithgow, where a knife was presented to the victim and threats of violence were made. The incident happened within a supermarket car park at around 7:40 p.m. on Sunday the 26th of July, where a 61-year-old man was attempting to enter his Audi A6 car after shopping when he was confronted by two males. After being threatened with the knife, the man retreated from his vehicle, which was then stolen and driven off towards Bo'ness. This was an extremely distressing incident for the victim, and inquiries were immediately launched by detectives to identify those responsible. As a result, the vehicle was recovered the following day, and two males, aged 16 and 20, were arrested and charged. The 20-year-old has since been remanded in custody. Such offences are wholly unacceptable and will not be tolerated. Tackling crimes of violence, particularly those where knives and similar weapons are utilised, remains a priority for Police Scotland, and we will continue to utilise all resources at our disposal to identify those responsible and bring them to justice. In addition, we will continue to support key partners within West Lothian in undertaking awareness, raising events with young people to highlight the impact and consequences of becoming involved in crimes of this nature. To finish off this week's column, I'd like to return to some basic crime prevention advice in respect of homes and vehicles, particularly because for the last few weeks the temperatures we've been experiencing have been extremely high. During this time, many of us have no option but to open doors and windows to provide ventilation and cool down. But please remember that they should then be shut and secured appropriately when you go out or retire to bed for the evening. The same goes for your vehicle. Do not leave windows open when they are unoccupied. We do not want to provide these criminals with any additional opportunities to strike.
Outlets campaign to enjoy the great outdoors. From climbing a First Munro to trying wild swimming in a Scottish loch, thousands of Scots have outdoor ambitions they've never quite acted on. Whether it's a lack of confidence, uncertainty about where to begin, or simply not having the right kit, many people spend years saying one day to an outdoor activity they've always wanted to try. Now Livingston Designer Outlet is searching for people across Scotland who are ready to turn one day into day one with the launch of its new campaign, Start Your First. The campaign invites Scots to share the outdoor activity they've always dreamed of trying, but haven't yet taken that first step towards. With research from the Observatory for Sport in Scotland highlighting the opportunity to encourage more people across Scotland to embrace active lifestyles, Livingston Designer Outlet is on a mission to inspire people to try something new and discover the physical and mental well-being benefits of getting active outdoors. Whether it's hiking a first hill, trying wild swimming, taking up trail running, or exploring Scotland's cycle routes, Start Your First is designed to help those who have always wanted to try something new, but never quite known where to begin. 4 selected participants will win a £200 gift card from some of the outlet's leading outdoor brands, including the North Face, Trespass, Regatta, Talk24, providing the clothing, equipment and essentials they need to get started and turn ambition into action. Michelle Whitelaw, Centre Director at Livingston Designer Outlet, said, "The hardest part is often taking the first step when trying a new sport or outdoor activity. Through Start Your First, we want to remove some of those barriers and show that getting started can be simpler than people think. Whether it's your first hike, your first cycle, or your first wild swim, we're here to help make it happen and can't wait to hear from the people of Scotland what firsts they are looking to take on this summer."
Historic viaduct repairs. Network Rail engineers are starting £3.6 million worth of repairs at the historic Avon Viaduct near Linlithgow. The project, which began on August the 3rd and is due to be completed by May 2027, will protect the future of the 23-span listed structure and the railway it carries across the River Avon between West Lothian and Falkirk. The viaduct will undergo a range of improvements as part of the project, including masonry repairs, steelwork repainting, and structural strengthening works. Existing metal parapet handrails will also be replaced with glass-reinforced polymer parapets. This investment is part of Network Rail's ongoing programme to maintain and preserve Scotland's historic railway infrastructure, ensuring key assets continue to serve passengers and freight services for generations to come. As a listed structure, the work has had to be carefully planned to respect the viaduct's heritage while addressing essential maintenance needs. Network Rail has worked closely with local authorities and environmental specialists as plans for the project have progressed. Ecological surveys have also been undertaken to identify and protect local wildlife, including nesting birds and bats, with appropriate mitigation measures being implemented where required. Alison Flanagan,
project manager at Network Rail Scotland, said, "This is an important investment in one of Scotland's historic railway structures. The work will help ensure Avon Viaduct continues to play its role on the railway while preserving its character for future generations. As well as extending the life of the structure, the project will help protect an important part of the local landscape and railway heritage for years to come."
Supermarket sweep for Chas. Aldi Scotland's supermarket sweep is back for another year, giving shoppers in West Lothian the chance to raise vital funds for children's hospices across Scotland, Chas. Inspired by the iconic game show, the High Energy Challenge is set to bring a buzz to the Isles, offering one lucky Falkirk or ML postcode holders the chance to race through their local Aldi store in central Scotland and fill the trolley with their favourite products. Now, in its 11th year, the initiative has raised over £60,000 for charities across Scotland. First launched in 2016, the supermarket sweep invites participants to take part in a 5-minute trolley dash, collecting as many items as possible before the clock runs out. Once time is called, the winner takes home their haul, while Aldi matches the total value as a donation to Chas. Residents in central Scotland can apply to take part in the supermarket sweep until Sunday, August the 16th. Not much time there. Tom Breary, Regional Manager Director, Aldi Scotland, said, "We are proud to once again be partnering Chas following the success of last year's supermarket sweep campaign. It is always a highlight to bring this initiative to communities across Scotland, and we are looking forward to giving one lucky Central Scotland resident the chance to enjoy a truly unique supermarket experience." Chas is a charity very close to our hearts, providing vital support to families across the country. As the supermarket sweep returns for 2026, we are pleased to once again raise important funds and awareness for the incredible work they do. Entry is free, and customers can apply by emailing their name and chosen store to supermarketsweep@aldi.co.uk before Sunday, August the 16th. Further details and full terms and conditions can be seen at www.aldi.co.uk/supermarket sweep. And that brings us to the end of part 1, and we'll be back very, very shortly with part 2. Welcome back to part 2, and we'll start part 2 with the family intimations. At one time we used to have births, deaths and marriages, but all we have these days is deaths, and there is only one. It's John McKee from Armadale. Peacefully, with John by his side on Sunday the 2nd of August 2026, John, aged 80 years, loving and much loved husband to the late Doreen, dearly loved dad to John, Alan and Lorraine, a treasured papa and granddad to Claire, Heather, Sean, Sonny, Olivia and Ella. He will be sadly missed by all who knew him. And that's the only intimations which are in this week's Courier. So what we'll do is we'll carry on with some more news items.
Food business recognised with Taste Award. Pioneering Harthill-based business Lazy Day Foods has added another accolade to its growing list of awards after its Mini Vic, the vegan caterpillar cake, won a prestigious 1-star Great Taste Award. Recognised as the world's largest and most trusted food and drink accreditation scheme, The Great Taste Awards celebrate outstanding flavour above all else. Every product is blind tested with all branding and packaging removed before undergoing a rigorous judging process by more than 800 food experts, ensuring awards are based solely on taste. This year, only around 41% of entries received any level of recognition, making the accolade a significant achievement for Lazy Day. Inspired by one of Britain's most recognisable celebration cakes, Lazy Day's mini vegan caterpillar cakes offers an allergen-friendly take on the much-loved classic. Hand-baked in a dedicated gluten-free, milk-free, egg-free and vegan bakery in Scotland, the individually portioned cakes feature a soft chocolate sponge made from and covered in Belgian dark chocolate with a chocolate-flavoured frosting filling, topped with multicoloured sugar decorations and a milk-free white chocolate-flavoured face. This year's judges praised Mini Vic as a product that looks and tastes like the thing we all know and love, commending its balanced flavours, appealing appearance and rich chocolate flavour, recognising Lazy Day's success in recreating a much-loved classic in an allergen-friendly format. For Lazy Day, the award represents more than recognition for a single product. It reflects 2 decades spent challenging perceptions of free from food and proving that products created for people with dietary restrictions can be just as delicious, indulgent, and enjoyable as any traditional favourite. Mini Vic is also one of Lazy Day's most popular products, and it's been developed so that people living with food allergies and dietary restrictions can enjoy the same moments of celebration as everyone else. The Great Taste Award is the latest recognition of Lazy Day's continued commitment to creating delicious free-from products that everyone can enjoy. Dr. Sally Beattie, co-founder of Lazy Day Foods, said, "At Lazy Day, we've always believed that free-from products should be every bit as delicious as their traditional counterparts. Receiving a Great Taste Award for one of our most popular products is a fantastic endorsement of that philosophy, and we're incredibly proud that the judges recognised the quality and flavour we've worked so hard to achieve." Fellow co-founder Emma Bustard added, "Mini Vic has become one of our most loved products because it brings a familiar favourite to people who may otherwise have had to miss out."
Wielded knives. A West Lothian man wielded 2 knives on a busy Edinburgh city centre street and repeatedly threatened a police officer. Declan Graham pleaded guilty to 2 charges of possessing a bladed weapon in public without reasonable excuse or lawful authority. He also admitted to a charge of threatening behaviour. The 25-year-old, whose address was given as Linlithgow, appeared at Edinburgh Sheriff Court and received a sentence on Friday, July 31st, after a sheriff called the conduct very serious. Graham carried the bladed weapons, namely knives, on Nidri Street in Edinburgh on November 19, 2025. He also shouted, swore and repeatedly uttered threats of violence towards Constable Samuel Kilduff on the same date. Graham's defence solicitor said his client accepted his conduct constituted a serious offence and it will be troubling for the court. He added that, whilst serious, the behaviour appears to be out of character for Graham, who is in a stable relationship and a full-time job. Sheriff Komorowski called the incident an extremely serious matter and said that it were not for the lack of previous offending, he may have been inclined to consider a custodial sentence. Graham was issued an 8-month order where he must remain within his home address between the hours of 8 p.m. and 6 a.m. He was also fined £325.
Tombola cash is boost for brilliant charity. Specsavers in Livingston has raised £400 for charity Deafblind Scotland following an in-store tombola offering customers the chance to win a host of prizes. The store, which is locally owned and located in the centre of Livingston, hosted the competition to mark Deafblind Awareness Week, giving customers the opportunity to win prizes donated by other businesses in the shopping centre. All funds raised will be donated to Deafblind Scotland, a charity which provides advice, support and opportunities to help meet the complex needs of individuals living with deafblindness in Scotland. Ian Bell, one of the members who relies on the charity, said, "It's absolutely fantastic that Specsavers in Livingston has raised funds for Deafblind Scotland. This charity has been a lifeline for me, so I'd like to personally thank everyone for getting involved." Lisa Brockett, store director at Specsavers Livingston, added, "We're thrilled to have been able to raise funds for a fantastic cause, which both our optics and audiology teams were hugely passionate about supporting. We'd like to thank all of our customers for taking part in the festivities on the day, and I'd like to extend that thanks to our team, who have worked really hard to organise this fundraising. To book an appointment or speak to a member of the team at Specsavers Livingston store, visit specsavers.co.uk/stores/Livingston or call 01506 430 819.
Lawyers can use will aid expertise. Law firms across West Lothian are being encouraged to join this year's will aid campaign, using their legal expertise to help thousands of people make a will while raising vital funds for charities supporting vulnerable people in the UK and around the world. Will Aid is an annual charity will writing campaign that takes place every November. Participating solicitors volunteer their time to write basic wills and instead of charging their usual fees, invite clients to make a donation to Will Aid. These donations help fund the work of Will Aid's partner charities, supporting a wide range of causes from providing humanitarian aid to protecting vulnerable children and tackling homelessness. As well as making a meaningful difference throughout the campaign, taking part also brings wider benefits to participating firms. It provides an opportunity to strengthen relationships with existing clients, introduce new clients to a firm, demonstrate a commitment to corporate social responsibility, and give staff the satisfaction of using their professional skills to support good causes. Last year's campaign saw participating solicitors write 8,375 wills, raising a fantastic £833,000 of donations, which will have an immediate impact, changing lives for the better. But it also generated an estimated $3.64 million in future charitable legacy pledges by the 8 partner charities. Alongside the donations, the campaign's impact is more than $4.46 million. Peter DeVena-Franks, campaign director at Will Aid, said every year we are inspired by the generosity of solicitors who give their time to support Will Aid. Their expertise help thousands of people put an important legal document in place, while also raising funds that make a real difference through our partner charities. Taking part in Will Aid is a fantastic opportunity for firms of all sizes. It enables practices to support their local community, engage colleagues in a rewarding initiative, and often build lasting relationships with new clients. We are encouraging firms across Scotland to join us this November and help make this year's campaign another success. Since its launch in 1988, Will Aid has raised more than £26 million in donations, with millions more pledged in charitable legacies thanks to the generosity of participating solicitors. And any firms taking part can find out more and register at www.willaid.org.uk/register.
CJ reflects on being Game Star. A viral Commonwealth Games star from West Lothian has admitted that his mum was stunned to see him shoot to fame for doing the chores. Trained dancer CJ Miller, 25, from Livingston, has become a worldwide sensation for his amazing displays during the Glasgow 2026 events such as netball and the hydro. Crowds cheered with delight when he stepped out onto the court with a mop and burst into an amazing dance routine to the tune of Queen's I Want to Break Free. Clips of his steps instantly went viral, and he found himself being interviewed on international news broadcasts as far afield as Australia. The dancer, who has previously appeared in James McAvoy's movie California Schemin' and Apple TV show The Buccaneers, had no idea his games performance would have such an impact. I was thinking we were all just going down to fly under the radar and there'd maybe be like a wee video taken by broadcasters and that be it. But I was very wrong, he laughed. Everyone and their dog has messaged me, including people I went to high school with and hadn't seen in 10 years. CJ's viral fame landed differently with Mum Lisa. He said, "My mum is Googling it every 2 minutes. I came back yesterday and they were like, look at this article and look at the AI overview on Google." She always tried to make us clean, but we couldn't live up to her high standard, so I think she just gave up and did it herself. We were talking yesterday. Is she shocked that something like this has happened? No. Is she shocked that it's to do with cleaning? Yes. CJ admitted that despite his newfound fame for floor cleaning, he's not a fan of the mop. He added, "I'm quite particular about the state of the house. I love my plants and everything has its place. But at home, that mop comes out when it needs to come out and not a second before. I'm quite handy with the hoover, but the mop, that's a pain in the backside. It's on brand for me now, so I need to get more acquainted with mops." CJ was recruited through his agent for the undercover dance gig and has loved his biggest performance to date. He was given free rein to come up with his own moves and loved getting stuck in. "I like to change it up a bit every time, as I don't want people to get bored, especially since it's been all over social media and you can't get away from it," he said. The crowds have been great. They started really strong at the weekend and people are still enthusiastic and involved. I've done some corporate events, but of course nothing to this scale. It's hard to get something similar to the scale of the Commonwealth Games. His highest profile job before this was as a backing dancer for wannabe hip-hop stars in James McAvoy's directorial debut film California Scheming earlier this year. CJ has been wowing Glasgow 2026 crowds over the last week and completed his run of gigs last Wednesday. He's loved every minute of his Commonwealth journey and thinks Glasgow has shown the world how to put on a great show. He said, "It's something that's trying to bring a lot of countries together, and I've seen some really beautiful moments between countries while taking part in the Games, and people have been so lovely to each other." The Games closed on Sunday with a spectacular ceremony at the Hydro, headlined by Glasgow legends Simple Minds. And there is a photograph of CJ in one of his, I would say, quite difficult moves, but seems to be thoroughly enjoying it.
Pupils praised for record exam results. Pupils in West Lothian schools received their Qualifications Scotland Awards this week. Students, supported by teaching staff, worked hard to achieve their results, and there has been continued improvement in the key indicators on the Scottish Credit and Qualifications Framework. Students in S4 achieving 5 or more Level 5 qualifications has increased across West Lothian. Pupils in S5 achieving 3 or more Level 6 qualifications, which includes hires, has also increased. Both the number of S5 and S6 pupils achieving 5 or more Level 6 qualifications, such as hires, saw rises. Winchborough Academy presented their first cohort of pupils for national qualifications, taking West Lothian up to 12 presenting schools this year. Sinclair Academy have their first S4 cohort starting in the upcoming academic session. Pupils across the local authority had the opportunity to undertake a wide range of courses, either in their own schools or in conjunction with partners through West Lothian campus and at West Lothian College. As well as national qualifications, pupils have achieved National Progression Awards, HNCs, Skills for Work courses, and Foundation apprenticeships, among others. Executive Councillor for Education, Andrew Maguire, said, "Congratulations to all young people in West Lothian who have received their exam results. The results from across the county reflect the commitment and hard work of pupils and are also a tribute to the immense support and professionalism of teachers and support staff across our schools. Results Day can also bring uncertainty. If you have any questions or any doubts after receiving your results, then please contact your school and staff will be able to guide you." West Lothian Council Head of Secondary Education, Siobhan McGarty, added, "Once our young people have their results, they may need some advice and support about their next steps with their curriculum and career pathways. Support is available to them through their schools and organisations such as Skills Development Scotland and Career Advisors, who are all available to help and based in school. Congratulations to all our young people, and I wish them well as they move forward into the next year. For anyone seeking support and guidance after receiving their results, school staff will be available after the exam results are released to offer advice and help, particularly for pupils who intend to continue in school education. For careers advice, contact the special free helpline on 0808 100 8000, which is open 9 a.m. to 5 p.m. weekdays. For information about courses, visit the West Lothian College website. Contact the admissions office on 01506 724 605 or email inquiries@westlothian.ac.uk/Universities and Colleges Admissions Service. If you are undecided about your future, there is a wealth of advice and information and options available on UCAS website. If you are feeling worried or have not had the results you hoped for, please know you can reach out to Listen and Link and speak to one of the team on 01506 283 160.
£21 million project making homes feel like new. Tenants delight at landlord's upgrade programme. A West Lothian tenant says her home feels like new after benefiting from being included in a £21.7 million investment programme. Social landlord Wheatley Homes announced the 3-year multi-million pound investment programme in 2025 across its communities in Edinburgh, West Lothian and Fife, helping to upgrade homes and make them warmer and cheaper to run. One of the customers benefiting is Jean Houston from West Calder, who recently received a brand new kitchen in her home in West Lothian as part of the programme. Jean said, "Having a new kitchen is really good. Being able to choose the colours for the cupboards, worktops, flooring and walls was great. It means that although we've all had new kitchens fitted, I don't think any two are the same in the block. It's been well worth the investment. It feels like having a new home." Jean's kitchen is part of a £752,000 project delivering 139 new kitchens across Edinburgh and West Lothian this year. Over the next 2 years, almost 500 homes across Edinburgh and West Lothian will receive new kitchens, while 250 homes will benefit from new bathrooms and nearly 350 properties will get new front or back doors. Energy efficiency improvements are also being rolled out, including almost 50 new electric heating systems, more than 450 new gas boilers, and wider insulation and environmental improvements, helping customers keep their homes warmer and potentially reduce fuel bills. James Ward, the Managing Director of Wheatley Homes East, said, "It's great to hear firsthand about the difference this investment is making to tenants, both inside their homes as well as in communal areas. This investment programme has been shaped by tenants like Jean, who told us they wanted to see more investment in existing homes. Customers have also helped choose the designs and colours used in many of the improvements. Customers are already seeing the benefits in their homes and communities, and there is much more to come."
Community Hub asks for help after break-in. West Calder Community Hub is appealing for public support following a break-in during the early hours of Tuesday morning, which has caused significant damage to the building and distress to staff and volunteers working to protect this vital community asset. At approximately 1:20 a.m. on July the 28th, 2 young males, believed to be in their early teens, broke into the hub. While little was stolen, the damage caused to the building has had a substantial impact on the organisation, which only recently took over responsibility for the facility on behalf of the local community. Police Scotland attended the scene and recorded the incident under police incident number PS 20260 728 0501. Anyone with information relating to the incident is asked to contact Police Scotland on 101, quoting the incident number. The incident comes just months after the community stepped forward to take over the operation of the building, following cost-saving measures by West Lothian Council. While community ownership is often celebrated as a positive way of protecting valued local facilities, organisations across Scotland are increasingly finding themselves carrying significant operational and financial risks that were previously borne by the local authorities. As councils continue to face severe budget pressures, community groups are being asked to take responsibility for important public assets, including community centres, village halls and leisure facilities. These organisations often do so with limited financial resources, relying heavily on volunteers, fundraising efforts, and increasingly competitive grant funding to maintain buildings and deliver services. For community-led organisations, incidents such as vandalism and break-ins can have consequences far beyond the cost of repairs. They divert scarce funds away from frontline services, create additional administrative burdens, and place further pressures on volunteers and staff who are already working hard to keep these facilities open. West Calder Community Hub is a vital local resource, providing a wide range of affordable and accessible services for residents of all ages. These include low-cost meals and social activities for older residents to help reduce social isolation. Activities for children and adults include taekwondo, gymnastics and yoga. A welcoming community cafe where parents, families and local residents can meet. Support services including employability assistance, dementia-friendly activities and carer support. An affordable community gym providing local access to fitness facilities without the need to travel to neighbouring towns. A spokesperson for West Calder Community Hub said, "It is heartbreaking to see damage caused to a building that the community has worked so hard to save. Every pound spent repairing vandalism is a pound that cannot be invested in activities, services and support for local people. Community organisations across Scotland are stepping up to protect important local assets, but incidents like this demonstrate the growing risks that communities are being expected to shoulder. The Hub is currently fundraising to improve a secure entry to the building, safeguarding community access for future generations, and residents who wish to contribute to the project can donate through www.westcalderhub.org/support-us. And that brings us to the end of part 2. We'll have a wee quick break and we'll be back with you very shortly. Welcome back to part 3. And part 3 is our usual quiz, and the layout of which is now 6 pub quiz questions. And remember to listen in to the start of part 4 for the answers to the quiz. So get your thinking caps on now, and here we go. Question 1. In which decade was Labour politician Michael Foot first elected to Parliament? Was it the 1960s, the 1950s, or the 1940s? Question 2. Born in 1917, what was the surname of the jazz trumpeter and band leader nicknamed Dizzy? Was it Gillespie, Davis, or Eldridge? Question 3. The English seaside town of Whitley Bay lies in which major body of water? Is it the English Channel, the North Sea, or the Irish Sea? Question 4. At more than 15,000 feet, Monte Rosa is situated between Italy and which other country? Is it Switzerland, Austria, or France? Question 5. Here we go. On average, how many baby teeth does a human being have? Is it 20, 12, or 16? And the last question, question 6, in which country is Lillehammer the host venue of the 1994 Winter Olympics? Was it Germany, Norway, or Austria? So we'll give you a couple of minutes and we'll be back with the answers in part 4. And welcome back to part 4. And here is the answer to the pub quiz. In which decade was Labour politician Michael Foot first elected to Parliament? 1960s, 1950s, or the 1940s? And it was the 1940s. Born in 1917, what was the surname of the jazz trumpeter and band leader nicknamed Dizzy? Was it Gillespie, Davis, or Eldridge? And the answer is Gillespie. Question 3. The English seaside town of Whitley Bay lies on which major body of water? The English Channel, North Sea, or the Irish Sea? And the answer is the North Sea. Question 4. At more than 15,000 feet, Monte Rosa is situated between Italy and which other country? Switzerland, Austria, or France? And the answer is Switzerland. Question 5. On average, how many baby teeth does a human being have? Is it 20, 12, or 16? And the answer is 20. And the last question. In which country is Lillehammer the host venue of the 1994 Winter Olympics? Was it Germany, Norway, or Austria? And the answer is Norway. And that's the quiz for this week, and we'll go back to some more new leads.
Nursery children having fun with trips down by the river. The children and staff from East Calder Nursery have enjoyed a few day trips to the local river, accompanied by Safi Simoa. They used digital technology to time how long it took them to get there and to measure the distance they had walked. They also used early risk assessment skills to identify any risks or dangers on the way, in the trees and woodland and in the water. Whilst in the water, they had fun splashing and hopping around, developing their resilience and gross motor skills. The children participated in many activities that linked to literacy, numeracy, and health and well-being. These included singing 1, 2, 3, 4, 5 while fishing with sticks or nets, looking for different shaped rocks, and discussing the varying depths of water. And there's several pictures of the kids who took part in this, and they're obviously having a great time.
Robbery appeal. Detectives are appealing for information following an armed robbery near Dean Street in Whitburn. Around 3:15 a.m. on Monday the 27th of July, a 50-year-old man was walking on a footpath between Bog Road and Dean Street when he was approached by a man and threatened with a knife. He was not injured but left extremely shaken. A wallet containing a 3-figure sum of cash and personal items was taken from him. The suspect left in the direction of Bog Road. Detective Constable Graham Rogers said, "This was a frightening incident for the victim, and it is vital that we trace the man responsible. I am appealing to anyone who was in the area at the time and saw a man acting suspiciously or knows who it may have been to contact officers. I'd also appeal to those in the area who have dashcam footage or private CCTV to review this to see if it has captured anything of significance. Anyone with information is asked to contact Police Scotland on 101, quoting incident number 0412 of the 27th of July 2026.
Defibrillator donation. Scotland's largest vaccine producer, Valneva Scotland, has donated a piece of life-saving equipment to a West Lothian community organisation in an area with limited availability. The Speciality Vaccine Company, based in Livingston, has donated an automated external defibrillator, AED, to St John's Lodge in Fauldhouse. The venue was nominated by Valneva employees and selected after meeting key criteria, including the absence of an AED on site and limited access to publicly available defibrillators nearby. Mark Jones, site director at Valneva Scotland, said, "Access to an AED can be the difference between life and death in an emergency. The devices were repurposed, extending its useful life. The device was repurposed, extending its useful life while reducing waste and avoiding unnecessary environmental impact. By working with our employees and local partners, we're delighted to be able to place this vital equipment where it can have the greatest impact." As well as delivering clear community benefit, the initiative reflects Valneva Scotland's practical and sustainable approach and wider commitment to community health, safety and responsible use of its resources.
Sean launches Scots Loves Local campaign. Television weatherman Sean Batty is urging people across West Lothian to shine a sunny spotlight on their high street heroes. The STV presenter is calling on people in the area to get their nominations in for the 2026 Scotland Loves Local Awards before they close on Friday, August the 14th. They will see high street heroes rewarded for the work they do to make their communities better. Sean, an ambassador for Scotland Loves Local, said, "The Scotland Loves Local Awards are about celebrating the people and businesses in your community who go above and beyond, as well as the innovation, ambition and determination which is forging a better future for the places we call home. Not all heroes wear capes, but the way in which so many people give so much time and energy into making life better in our communities is truly heroic. What better way to celebrate than nominating them as a High Street Hero? A High Street Hero Award will be presented to each Scottish Parliament region. The awards are organised by Scotland's Towns Partnership as an extension of its wider Scotland Loves Local campaign, which encourages people to help grow stronger communities by supporting the enterprises, organisations and initiatives in them. Now in their 6th year, they recognise leadership, innovation and community action that supports thriving local places, from transformational regeneration projects and community initiatives to the individuals making a difference. They highlight the impact of place-based collaboration in delivering stronger, greener and more resilient town centres and places. And award and nominations can be made at www.lovelocal.scot/awards-2026, where full category criteria can also be found. There you can briefly share the details of your nominee and why you would like to see them recognised. And that brings us to the end of part 4, and although it brings us to the end of the news from the Courier, please stay tuned and I will let you know when we have finally finished the recording. And as you know, in Team 3 recordings, we usually include, where possible, a poem or a composition written and read by one of our team, Ray. So, before we wind up our session, I'll pass you over to Ray.
Tonight, in view of our fascination with living and working in space and the recently announced American ambition to have a moon base, I'd like to read you a poem I wrote called Life and Death in the Void. The darkness was intensely deep, which made the stars seem bright. I took my seat upon the ship and went into the void. A simple repair, I was told. Replace one circuit on the bird. Out and back 2 hours tops. I journeyed in the void. In spacesuit now, the ship has docked through the airlock out in space, floating, held by one thin rope, a speck out in the void. The job is done, I'm heading back, and then I feel a nudge. I turn and see another suit, just floating in the void. I look at flags, then at the name. The same as mine, my heart beats fast. My brother disappeared last month while working in the void. My heart is broken, but I'm glad that he has finally come back. A sense of calm steals over me, that moment in the void. Now I know, now I can grieve, formalities can be complete. Rest in peace, not MIA, not missing in the void. The darkness is intensely deep, which makes this one star bright. My brother now looks over me. It's peaceful in the void. I'd also like to read for you tonight 2 poems which are not written by me. The first is from Burns, Sweet Afton. Flow gently, sweet Afton, among thy green braes. Flow gently, I'll sing thee a song in thy praise. My Mary's asleep by the murmuring stream. Flow gently, sweet Afton, disturb not her dream. Thou stock dove whose echo resounds through the glen, ye wild whistling blackbirds in yon thorny den, thou green-crested lapwing, thy screaming forbear, I charge you, disturb not my slumbering fair. How lofty, sweet Afton, thy neighbouring hills, far marked with the courses of clear winding rills. There daily I wander, as noon rises high, my flocks and my Mary's sweet cot in my eye. How pleasant thy banks and green valleys below, where wild in the woodlands the primroses blow. There oft as mild evening weeps over the lea, the sweet-scented birk shades my Mary and me. Thy crystal stream, Afton, how lovely it glides, and winds by the cot where my Mary resides. How wanton thy waters her snowy feet lave, as, gathering sweet flowerets, she stems thy clear wave. Flow gently, sweet Afton, among thy green braes. Flow gently, sweet river, the theme of my lays. My Mary's asleep by thy murmuring stream. Flow gently, sweet Afton, disturb not her dream. And the final one is by Robert Louis Stevenson, From a Railway Carriage. Faster than fairies, faster than witches, bridges and houses, hedges and ditches, and charging along like troops in a battle. All through the meadows the horses and cattle, all of the sights of the hill and the plain, fly as thick as driving rain, and ever again, in the wink of an eye, painted stations whistle by. Here is a child who clambers and scrambles, all by himself and gathering brambles. Here is a tramp who stands and gazes, and there is the green for stringing the daisies. Here is a cart run away in the road, lumping along with man and load, and here is a mill, and there is a river, each a glimpse, and gone forever.
Thank you very much, Ray. And we'll come to the end of this week's recording. We hope you have enjoyed it. And can I again once tell you that when we finish listening to this recording, can I remind you to place the USB stick in the wallet, reverse the label, so that the cutout corner is at the top right-hand side, and post it back to us as soon as possible. And please, wallets should only be posted in a post box. Do not post them in a post office. And I'm going to leave you with this final thought. And anybody can tell me if the answer to this is, if you have pet insurance, do you get a courtesy dog when yours is at the vet? So, it's goodbye from the members of the team.
Therine.
Nan.
And Ray.
And it's goodbye from Andrew, sitting in the corner, quietly recording all this. And it's goodbye from me, Jim. Goodbye.
Bye.
Bye.